Have you ever been told that you are the scriptwriter of your own reality? It sounds empowering, doesn't it? Yet, if we're honest, many of us struggle to actually believe it when life keeps throwing curveballs our way. Sometimes it feels like we're trapped inside a film we never auditioned for, replaying the same tired scenes, stuck in a storyline that seems predictable, frustrating, and far from the masterpiece we once dreamed of living. The truth is, most people at some point feel as though their life is happening to them, rather than through them. Days blend together, opportunities seem out of reach, and it feels as if the pen has been stolen from our hands. But here's the awakening moment. You are not doomed to remain a background character in a dull movie. You are the writer, the director, the producer, and even the entire studio of your reality. The plot may feel tangled right now, but the story isn't finished because you hold the power to rewrite it. The key lies in shifting from unconscious living to conscious creation, where you don't just drift through circumstances but intentionally design them. Now, let's be clear, knowing you have this power and actually using it are two very different things. It's one thing to say, create my reality, but another to consistently align your thoughts, emotions, and actions in a way that proves it. That's why so many people feel stuck. They've heard the philosophy, but they haven't yet learned how to embody it. This is where your transformation begins. In this video, we are going to show you how to step into the director as chair of your own life and create the kind of movie you'd actually pay to see, a life filled with excitement, meaning, and the kind of plot twists that bring joy rather than chaos. You'll discover how to shift your inner script, rewrite your ending, and craft each new chapter with clarity and purpose. So, if you're ready to stop being a passive audience member in your own story and start producing your very own blockbuster reality, then stay tuned, because the next scene is about to change everything. Let's begin by smashing one of the greatest myths of our time, the belief that you are only a physical being. If you see yourself as nothing more than flesh and bone, just a body moving through space and time, it's no wonder you feel powerless when life doesn't go your way. That perspective keeps you trapped in a small, shallow version of reality. But here's the truth. You are infinitely more than that. You are not just a body, you are a trinity of being, made up of the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. The physical is the easiest part to recognize. It's your body, your senses, your ability to taste, touch, see, hear, and smell. It's how you interact with the material world. But this physical self is only the outer shell, the vehicle you use to navigate life. Inside this vehicle lies your mental self, the seat of your thoughts, imagination, memory, and creativity. This is the realm where you form ideas, construct dreams, and shape the blueprint of your reality. But even this isn't the whole picture. There is something even deeper, something vast and often ignored. Your spiritual self. Your spiritual side is not just a belief or an abstract idea. It is the sleeping giant within you. It is your purest essence, your direct connection to the divine source, or the universal energy that sustains all life. It is the spark that animates you, the current of energy that flows through your emotions, intuition, and inner knowing. While your body is limited by time and space, your spiritual essence is limitless. It exists beyond boundaries, beyond physical law, beyond what the senses can perceive. Now here's where things get fascinating. If we were to compare the parts of you in terms of influence, the physical side, what you can see, touch, and measure, makes up less than 0.1% of your total reality. The other 99.9% of your existence is invisible to the naked eye, residing in the vast inner worlds of the mental and spiritual. Yet most people spend nearly all of their energy struggling with the physical, trying to move the pieces they can see, while ignoring the massive unseen forces that are actually shaping their lives. It's like spending your days rearranging the ripples on the surface of a pond, without realizing that the True power lies in the depths beneath, and this is why so many people feel powerless. They've been trying to change the story of their life only through the physical, when in truth the script is being written in the invisible realms of mind and spirit. The world you experience outside of you is a direct reflection of the energies moving within you, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your spiritual alignment. These are the true architects of your reality. The physical is simply the last stage, the visible manifestation of what has already been decided in the unseen. Think of it this way: if the physical world is the stage, then your mental and spiritual selves are the writers, directors, and producers working behind the scenes. And when you don't know this, you walk through life thinking you're just an actor, reading lines from a script someone else wrote. But when you awaken to the truth, you realize the giants within you have only been sleeping, waiting for you to call them forth, to give them command of the story. This is why spiritual traditions across time have pointed to the same truth: change begins within. Cause and effect is not merely physical. The truest causes happen on the spiritual and mental planes, and the physical is simply the effect. When you shift your inner state, when you awaken the sleeping giant of your spiritual power, you no longer feel trapped in a bad movie. You realize you've been sitting in the director's chair all along, unaware of the authority you hold. So, here's the invitation. Stop playing in the puddle when an entire ocean of possibility is waiting for you. Stop trying to move life only from the outside, when the true power lies in mastering your inner worlds. The moment you recognize that the unseen is more real than the seen, the moment you tap into the sleeping giant within, everything begins to change. Now that you know your physical life is only a small fraction of the bigger picture, you are ready to step into your true creative power. Let's dive deeper and uncover just how far this awakening can take you. Now imagine reality as a great scale stretching from the unseen to the seen. At the very top of this scale sit your thoughts, feelings, and spirit, subtle, invisible, yet powerful energies. At the very bottom are the dense, physical things you can hold in your hands: your coffee mug, your car, the chair you're sitting on. Here's the fascinating part: the higher levels of this scale, the thoughts and vibrations you hold within, are what shape the lower levels. In other words, the invisible influences the visible. What you think and feel literally lays the groundwork for what you eventually see and touch in your outer world. Think of it like this: the higher you go on the scale, the closer you are to the realm of pure spirit and mind, where creation first begins. As you move downward, those unseen energies condense, taking form as physical reality. It's like turning invisible steam into solid ice at still water, but in a denser state. That means your thoughts, emotions, and inner vibrations are not just fleeting daydreams. They are the raw materials of reality. When you deliberately shape them, you are literally crafting the conditions that later solidify as your life experiences. This is the secret language of the universe. Your inner world speaks first, and the outer world echoes back in response. For example, if you desire a better career, a more loving relationship, or simply more joy in your day, it doesn't begin by moving physical pieces around it. It begins with the atmosphere of your mind and spirit. By aligning your thoughts with possibility and your emotions with gratitude and openness, you set into motion a chain of energy that eventually manifests in the physical. And no, this isn't magic in the sense of fairy tales. It's the deeper law of cause and effect. The most significant causes don't happen in the physical, they happen in the unseen layers of thought and spirit. The results only become visible later. So, when you hear sayings like, "You get what you think about," most of the time, they aren't just nice affirmations. They are pointing to this hidden mechanism of creation. The more you dwell on something in thought and feeling, the more energy you feed into it, and the closer it comes to materializing in your world. Here's another way to put it: Thoughts and feelings are two sides of the same coin. When you're weighed down emotionally, your thoughts spiral downward too. When you feel uplifted, your thoughts tend to rise with you. Both are constantly working together, quietly programming what will later show up in your reality. And while the outer actions you take are important, never forget that most of what determines your life begins invisibly. The physical world is the final chapter, not the opening line. Understanding this is powerful. It means you're not just reacting to life, you are shaping it from the inside out. By becoming intentional about your thoughts and by nurturing uplifting emotional states, you're learning to read and speak the secret language of the universe. And once you master that language, you realize you are never powerless. You can tune your inner world and watch as the outer world slowly tunes itself to match. Let's pull back the curtain for a moment and step into what you might call backstage of reality. This is where quantum physics enters the picture. Now, that phrase might sound intimidating or overly scientific, but at its heart, quantum physics is simply about how everything in the universe is connected, like one vast, living puzzle. Every thought, every choice, every decision you make is like adding or moving a puzzle piece. The moment you choose, you shift something in that grand design. That's not abstract, it's you using the power of your mind to influence the whole. Think about it this way. You're not defined solely by your circumstances, your past, or the environment you grew up in. Those things may have shaped parts of you, yes, but they don't imprison you. At any moment, you can shake things up, redirect your course, and step into an entirely new future. It's like discovering you've had a superpower all along, and only now are learning how to use it. Here's a powerful image. Picture two worlds overlapping. One world is invisible, the backstage of the theater, where the sets are built, the costumes prepared, the scripts written. This is the realm of thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. It's where everything begins. The other world is the visible stage, the physical world where those invisible preparations appear as solid experiences, just like actors stepping into the spotlight. What you see on stage is only possible because of what was prepared backstage. Take something as simple as a seed. Inside that tiny shell is the blueprint of an entire plant, even though to the eye it looks like nothing more than a speck. Before it ever touches soil, the seed knows it will unfold into something specific. That invisible design is reality in its purest form. In the same way, the ideas, thoughts, and intentions you carry within you are seeds waiting for the right conditions to sprout into your life. Once you realize this, you stop being passive and start planting consciously. Quantum physics even goes further, telling us that the universe itself is like a vast sea of energy, one continuous, interconnected field. Everything you see, touch, or sense is part of that field. This energy shows up into forms. The first is particles, the solid, physical matter that makes up your daily life, your phone, your home, the chair you're sitting in. The second is waves, subtle, invisible vibrations that carry information, frequency, and possibility. This wave energy is what you feel in your emotions, hear in music, or visualize in your imagination. Both forms exist together, constantly shifting, constantly transforming. Here's where it gets deeply spiritual. As human beings, you embody both. You're not just a body made of matter, you are also a field of energy, pulsing with frequency, thought, and spirit. Yet most people see themselves only as physical, believing their edges are defined by skin, and that life is me versus the world. This narrow view creates separation and struggle. But when you awaken to your wave-like nature, you recognize you are intimately connected to everything around you. You are not separate, you are part of the same field that gives life to stars, oceans, forests, and galaxies. Now, let's look at time. Most of us believe we're walking down a straight road, past behind us, present under our feet, future up ahead. But quantum physics suggests something astonishing. Time is not a single straight line. Instead, with every decision you make, you branch into a new path. Each choice opens countless possibilities. Every moment you're not merely walking a path, you are creating it. You're not following a pre-written script. You're improvising the story in real time, shaping reality as you go. This is the backstage of reality, the invisible realm where your thoughts, energy, and choices quietly determine the show that plays out on the visible stage. And when you grasp this, when you really get it, you stop living like a spectator and step into your true role as a conscious creator. Now let's uncover a simple yet profound truth. The way you experience reality is not as straightforward as it seems. Your brain is like the ultimate control center, receiving and processing information from all your senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. But here's the fascinating twist. Your brain never actually touches the outside world. It's not directly experiencing the coffee in your hand, the music you hear, or the ground beneath your feet. Instead, it's receiving signals, tiny electrical and chemical messages, almost like text messages being transmitted to your phone. The brain decodes these signals, and from them, it constructs your personal version of reality. Think about what that really means. Your entire life functions like a loop. You absorb data from the outside world. Your brain interprets it with lightning-fast reactions, and then you experience that interpretation as emotions, thoughts, and sensations. But here's the wild part. All of this happens inside your brain. The outside world you believe you're living in is, in truth, a vivid model your brain is generating for you. The colors you see, the flavors you taste, even the feeling of your body moving through space. These are brain-made experiences, not raw reality itself. And this leads you to something astonishing. What you think is the world out there is, in a very real sense, a reflection of what's happening in here. Your brain doesn't simply show you life, it builds life for you, which means your inner thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states directly shape how you perceive everything around you. When you feel low, the world looks gray. When you feel grateful and alive, the same world glows with possibility. The mirror doesn't change, you do. But here's where the simple truth becomes liberating. You are not your brain. Your brain is an extraordinary tool, but it's not the driver. You, the awareness, the consciousness, the observer behind the curtain, are the one in control. Your brain is like the hardware, but you are the software programmer. You can train it, rewire it, and teach it new ways of interpreting the signals it receives. And the moment you realize this, you step out of autopilot and take the wheel of your life. If you've ever felt stuck, repeating the same patterns, it's often because your brain has been running old programs, replaying the same loops of thought and emotion. But those loops are not permanent. Neuroscience shows us that the brain is plastic. It can change. New pathways can be built, old ones can fade, and entirely new ways of experiencing life can emerge. And that change begins when you, the conscious self, decide to redirect the flow. This is the simple truth. You are the architect of your own experience. The brain might project the scenery, but you choose the script. You decide how to interpret, how to respond, and how to shape what comes next. No one else can take that responsibility for you. When you recognize this, you stop waiting for the world to change and start changing the way you see and interact with the world. That's how you create a reality worth living, a reality that reflects your highest vision, rather than your old programming. When you unlock the true power of your mind, you open the door to limitless possibilities, motivation, healing, personal growth, spiritual expansion, and yes, even the ability to shape the reality around you. Remember, your brain is an incredible tool, but it is not the boss of you. Use it wisely, and it can do extraordinary things, including bringing to life dreams that may have once seemed impossible. It might sound complex, but this is backed by real neuroscience and psychology. Nobody experiences the world exactly as it is. Each of us is constantly constructing reality inside our own minds. Once you grasp this, you realize you have the ability to tweak your brain, to change what it registers as real, and ultimately, to transform your life. Think of your brain like an old house wired for outdated electricity. If you want it to power modern tools and innovations, you have to rewire it. In the same way, your thoughts, beliefs, and habits need updating. Here are some ways to do just that. First, shake things up. Did you know the average person has around 60,000 thoughts a day? Even more fascinating, about 95% of these are recycled from yesterday. It's like running the same playlist on repeat over and over. To create new neural connections, you need to do things differently, try new activities, take new routes, engage your mind in novel ways. This challenges your brain, expands its flexibility, and sparks new connections. Over time, these new circuits become strong pathways, ready to support the next chapters of your life story. Second, dream big and often. Visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's training your brain to accept new possibilities. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. When you vividly picture a goal or desire, you are giving your mind a new script to play out, literally shaping the signals in your neural circuits. By imagining a better life and feeling the emotions associated with it, you start to rewire your mental setup and establish a new baseline for what's possible. Now consider the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you can achieve. These internal narratives create patterns in your brain and guide your thoughts and actions, often on autopilot. If you consistently tell yourself the best version of your story, you begin to believe it more deeply. This shifts your mental programming, which in turn sends out new energy into the world that acts as a cosmic mirror, reflecting your inner state back at you. Better beliefs, better vibrations, better outcomes. Here's the secret trick. Make your brain believe that your dreams are not just possible. They are already happening. You do this by tuning into the emotions you would feel if your goals were realized. Recall moments when you felt joy, gratitude, or excitement. Imagine how someone else who already has what you desire must feel. The more you immerse yourself in these feelings, the more your brain accepts them as reality. Over time, it works to manifest those internal states in your external life. This isn't just theory. Studies in neuroscience show that deliberately changing your mindset physically rewires your brain. Neural pathways strengthen, new connections form, and brain scans reveal measurable changes. By consciously shaping your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, you shift from being a passenger in your life to being the director, producer, and lead actor in your own blockbuster story. You get to choose the scenes, set the mood, and create a reality that reflects your highest vision. Remember, every single moment you live is an opportunity, a blank page, a fresh scene, a chance to rewrite the script of your life. If you feel stuck in a dead-end job, trapped in a relationship that no longer serves you, or simply lost in the monotony of everyday life, now is the moment to choose a different reality. The power isn't somewhere out there. It's already inside you. By shifting your focus, transforming your beliefs, and consciously choosing your thoughts and emotions, you can change the course of your life entirely. Think of your life as a movie or movie. Every scene, every plot twist, every character you encounter is part of the story you are directing. But unlike a passive viewer, you hold the pen, the camera, and the editing room. You decide the pacing, the mood, and the ending. And the beautiful part, the universe responds to the energy you put out. When you step into your power, when you consciously align your mind, heart, and spirit, life begins to rearrange itself to match your vision. So ask yourself, what scene in your life needs a rewrite? What amazing plot twist are you ready to create? Share it, speak it, and let your intention ripple out into the world. Each small change, each new thought, Each positive feeling is a seed that grows into a dramatic transformation. It's time to stop waiting for life to happen to you and start creating the epic, meaningful, and inspiring story you were always meant to live. Every moment is yours to shape, every choice yours to make, every dream yours to realize. And while you're at it, don't forget to engage with the community. Drop a comment below, share your intentions, and connect with others who are also stepping into their power. Hit that like button and subscribe for more content designed to help you become the ultimate director, producer, and writer of your life. The spotlight is on you now. Step into it and create the blockbuster story of your dreams.